VIP lifestyle, champagne showers, flashing smiles, and red carpets, isn't nearly as glamorous as it looks. Behind the velvet ropes, something far more sinister is quietly spreading. And yes, it all circles back to Cardi B. The queen of headlines is allegedly the epicenter of a shocking domino effect, and Jaguar Wright isn't holding back. She's dropping names, hinting at secrets, and exposing a hidden network tabloids, lawyers, and PR machines have desperately tried to bury. Offset, Drake, Chris Brown, Stefon Diggs, Kanye West, the list goes on. But forget cheating rumors or petty Twitter beefs. This is a high-stakes web of influence, control, and chaos infecting the very stars we worship. This network shields power, silences questions, and keeps fans clueless about the emotional and professional wreckage unfolding behind closed doors. So what really happens when fame meets a secret epidemic? Who's pulling the strings? And why is Hollywood letting it slide while the public stays blissfully unaware? Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into a scandal the industry prays you never see. It all began with whispers in exclusive club corners, gilded penthouses, and private jet lounges where the rich and famous don't just sip champagne. They trade secrets, favors, and according to Jaguar Wright, something far more contagious. For years, Hollywood has sold the illusion of untouchable glamour, with perfectly staged Instagram feeds and red carpets screaming perfection. But behind the glitz, chaos is spreading faster than anyone imagined. Cardi B, queen of headlines, awards, and social media storms, has allegedly become the unintentional spark for a scandal rattling some of entertainment's biggest names. Jaguar Wright, never shy with words, drops the bomb. Offset, Drake, Chris Brown, Stefon Diggs, even Kanye West, all somehow infected by this invisible force. Not about romance or petty drama, but influence, control, and subtle power corruption. The irony? These are the stars we glorify, obsessively stream, and watch dominate tabloids and reality TV. Yet, according to Jaguar, they are pawns in a system that isolates, manipulates, and pressures them in ways the public has never seen. Offset, long painted as Cardi B's unshakable partner, was reportedly one of the first to feel the tension, the invisible strings tugging at decisions, relationships, and careers. Drake, usually calm and chart-topping, allegedly felt tremors of the shadow network during his latest releases. Contracts delayed, collaborators shuffled, quiet legal nudges, nearly invisible maneuvers preserving public perception while chaos brewed behind the curtain. Chris Brown, already a headline magnet, reportedly faced loyalty tests and autonomy challenges that never hit TMZ. Stefon Diggs showed sudden withdrawals, cryptic posts, and mysterious project delays that fueled fan speculation without revealing the cause. Kanye West, master of spectacle, allegedly felt the same invisible hand shaping public reactions and personal choices, blurring lines between freedom and manipulation. According to Jaguar, this isn't coincidence. This is a pattern. A meticulously maintained system where legal teams, PR experts, and private agreements act as silent enforcers. Every decision, every delay, every cooled relationship isn't random. It's a hidden mechanism designed to protect power, control narratives, and punish dissenters. Anonymous sources claim NDAs aren't just legal, they're psychological tools, enforcing obedience, compliance, and silence. Add public scrutiny, social media harassment, and fan expectations, and the pressure becomes nearly unbearable. Surviving the camera's glare is one thing. Navigating an invisible web that threatens reputation and well-being is another. Jaguar paints a chilling, fascinating picture. Imagine a room full of smiles, TikTok filming, paparazzi poses, but beneath it, a storm brews. Reports hint at abrupt cancelled meetings, mysteriously dissolved collaborations, and sudden withdrawals. Cardi B, the alleged epicenter, reportedly navigates this chaos with uncanny skill, releasing hits, attending events, and dominating headlines while masking the invisible influence like a master strategist. But for those caught in crossfire, the fallout is brutal. Jaguar describes mental strain, career setbacks, and frayed personal relationships, all orchestrated to keep the public oblivious. This sophisticated, almost theatrical manipulation shows only the shiny surface to fans while shadows of coercion remain hidden. Luxury homes, private jets, designer wardrobes, all designed to distract, seduce, and ensnare. Sources allege lavish spending often comes with subtle threats or legal reminders. Comply, stay quiet, or risk exposure. It's a high-stakes chess match where every move is calculated, every grin measured, and every public statement meticulously scripted. The celebrities aren't villains or victims in the usual sense. They're pawns in a sprawling, almost industrial system of influence. Jaguar Wright's investigation reveals that this machine doesn't just protect the powerful, it infects anyone who comes near it, reshaping decisions, twisting behaviors, and sometimes ruining careers without a single headline. Public reactions? A whole separate circus. Fans obsess over late-night tweets, cancelled shows, and cryptic Instagram posts, clueless that most of it isn't spontaneous. It's dictated by the invisible forces Jaguar exposes. Picture the chaos when a fan-favorite collaboration collapses. The public blames creative differences or drama, while behind the scenes, it's all a tightly orchestrated exercise in control. Anonymous insiders say what looks like a meltdown or mysterious feud is often the result of strategic moves, legal letters, private meetings to enforce compliance, and when someone resists, they're quietly isolated, schedules manipulated, credibility subtly shredded until they toe the line or vanish from the spotlight. The shocking truth? This network could not care less about emotional fallout. Jaguar stresses that human cost, stress, anxiety, frayed friendships, mental exhaustion, is secondary to power and image preservation. It's a precision machine built for control and secrecy. The mechanism is so invisible and intricate that outsiders rarely notice. This isn't tabloid drama, it's a systemic scandal, a hidden web quietly dictating celebrity life. Even the richest, most famous, and resource-laden stars are often the most impacted. The closer you are to the network's core, Jaguar claims, the harsher the pressure, the stricter the scrutiny, and the heavier the unseen hand guiding every action. As the story unfolds, it gets even more tangled. Allegedly, meetings were held warning representatives of multiple artists about consequences for public disclosures. PR teams were scrambled to rewrite narratives in real time, legal notices dispatched not just to silence but to intimidate. Meanwhile, Cardi B continues to dominate headlines. Seemingly untouchable, every move analyzed and measured against the invisible patterns Jaguar exposes. Fans cheer, critics speculate, and Hollywood pretends it's just another ordinary week in celebrity paradise. Beneath the surface, however, a powerful, precise, and ruthless machinery hums. The irony is staggering. Stars with millions of followers and tens of millions in earnings appear untouchable, yet are subtly manipulated from the shadows. The public sees a curated, glossy reality, never the coerced compliance, the strategic silencing, or the emotional toll quietly reshaping lives. And Jaguar insists this is only the tip of the iceberg. She hints at documents, unnamed insiders, and evidence that, if fully revealed, could make today's celebrity chaos look like child's play. Contracts, whispered warnings, carefully staged appearances, all contribute to a veneer of perfection masking a deeply unsettling truth. Just when you think it can't get darker, Jaguar drops the most provocative bomb. This network doesn't just influence careers, it spreads a subtle infection, a cascading effect of decisions, behaviors, and emotional consequences that ripple through social circles, collaborations, and professional networks. Not literally contagious, she clarifies, but the metaphor hits hard. Once someone touches this system, their life, choices, and even relationships are quietly altered. The stars named aren't villains, they're witnesses, participants, and sometimes unwilling carriers of a system that has perfected invisibility. Sources reveal several high-profile collaborations mysteriously stalled. Social media campaigns shifted tone overnight, leaving fans bewildered. Industry insiders interviewed by Jaguar describe a surreal environment where appearances must be maintained at all costs, and any hint of unapproved transparency triggers immediate correction, often under legal threat. The stories you assume are coincidences? According to Jaguar, the sudden disputes, cryptic posts, and public chaos are all carefully choreographed. The unexplained cancellations, sudden meltdowns, and abrupt shifts in tone, all part of a far bigger, hidden blueprint. As the curtain falls on this opening act, one chilling truth emerges. Hollywood isn't just a playground for the rich and famous. It's a laboratory of control, secrecy, and influence, where even the mightiest stars aren't immune. Jaguar Wright has ripped away the glittering facade, revealing a terrifying system that quietly reshapes everyone caught in its orbit. The idols you worship, the voices you cheer for, the icons you follow, they're dancing to rhythms dictated by an invisible conductor with zero interest in transparency, empathy, or accountability. And yet, despite the stress, manipulation, and hidden warfare, Cardi B continues to dominate. Her resilience, or strategic genius, keeps fans distracted, streaming hits, buying albums, and applauding energy, while the silent infection spreads in the shadows. It's a delicate high-wire act performed in plain sight, where a single misstep could spark cascading revelations, or according to insiders, career-shattering consequences. And that's where we leave the first chapter of this explosive expose, a sprawling web of influence, secrecy, and subtle control stretching from Cardi B to some of Hollywood's biggest names, quietly shaping decisions, manipulating narratives, and keeping the public blissfully unaware. The real questions aren't about personal feuds, they're about how deep the system runs, who truly pulls the strings, and how long these stars can navigate a world designed to silently infect, influence, and intimidate. As dust settles from Jaguar Wright's revelations, the scandal only escalates. The ripple effect of Cardi B's alleged infection across Hollywood elites is more dramatic than anyone imagined. Anonymous insiders speak of secret meetings in towering penthouses, executives, lawyers, and PR teams huddled behind closed doors, frantically plotting damage control. Every star named Offset, Drake, Chris Brown, Stefon Diggs, Kanye West was reportedly summoned to these shadow sessions, guided not by their own choices but by a meticulous system built to preserve power and secrecy. Jaguar paints it as a surgical operation, influence disguised as choice, compliance disguised as autonomy, chaos disguised as ordinary celebrity drama. Reports from unofficial sources describe a surreal world where reality and manipulation blur. Drake, usually calm and calculated, allegedly faced sudden project delays and creative roadblocks orchestrated from above. Chris Brown, infamous for public controversies, reportedly received veiled warnings about personal conduct, not from courts, but from shadow figures wielding authority through fear and obedience. Offset's inner circle hints at late-night texts and private calls dictating collaborations, appearances, and even social media behavior. Stefon Diggs, trapped in the web, was emotionally drained, navigating contracts and shifting expectations overnight. Kanye West, ever the spectacle, faced engineered public scrutiny and misaligned narratives, preserving the illusion of spontaneity while remaining within invisible boundaries. Jaguar emphasizes, these aren't coincidences. The system functions like a contagion, infecting professional and personal networks simultaneously. Artists who speak out are swiftly silenced legally, socially, and emotionally. Non-disclosure agreements, thought to be standard protections, are weaponized as psychological chains, reinforcing obedience and fear. A single misstep, a tweet, a leak, a misunderstood comment, could trigger cascading consequences. PR teams and media insiders carefully curate public perception, ensuring no scandal ever becomes systemic. The kicker? The very celebrities most affected are celebrated for independence and authenticity. Meanwhile, Cardi B herself remains a spectacle of controlled chaos. Sources claim she operates on multiple levels while dominating charts, headlines, and social media, navigating the hidden network with a deftness that baffles even seasoned insiders. Every performance, interview, and social post is scrutinized, not just for content but for alignment with the network's unspoken rules. Her public resilience, according to Jaguar, is strategic misdirection. Fans are distracted by energy, charisma, and music while invisible mechanisms control contracts, collaborations, and careers behind the scenes. It's almost Machiavellian: control without exposure, influence without confrontation, power without visibility. Fans notice sudden changes, canceled shows, and delayed releases. Cryptic social media posts explode with speculation, yet few connect them to the unseen hands guiding events. True orchestrators remain hidden. Anonymous insiders say Hollywood executives monitor reactions closely, adjusting PR strategies in real time to focus attention on narratives benefiting the network. A sudden feud between Drake and Chris Brown? Carefully choreographed. A cryptic post from Stefon Diggs hinting frustration? Calculated. A viral headline about Kanye West's erratic behavior? Scripted. The system thrives on distraction, turning real human consequences into mere talking points while protecting itself. Leaked communications allegedly confirm the coordination. Emails, texts, private messages show high-profile stars advised or pressured to maintain appearances, keep projects on schedule, and avoid acknowledging the network's influence. Even minor deviations triggered swift corrections, subtle threats, and public-friendly explanations masking the reality. The goal? Total control over perception. Human cost, emotional burnout, anxiety, strained relationships, is collateral damage. Those closest to the network's core suffer most, torn between loyalty, career ambition, and unspoken rules governing their world. The financial stakes? Absolutely staggering. Jaguar Wright describes deals evaporating overnight, endorsements quietly yanked, and collaborations mysteriously postponed, all to maintain leverage and enforce compliance. Multi-million-dollar projects, streaming contracts, even personal investments, allegedly aren't driven by market trends or creative judgment but by the invisible control mechanism she exposes. Insiders claim luxury gifts, exclusive event invites, and access to high-profile circles act as carrot and stick, rewarding compliance while signaling the penalties of deviation. It's a high-stakes game where fame, fortune, and influence are both the prize and the trap. Yet, despite the crushing pressure, the human toll is undeniable. Sources say artists are emotionally drained, navigating labyrinths of obligations the public misinterprets as personal drama or creative differences. Anxiety, frustration, and secrecy are constant companions, leaving even the toughest stars vulnerable. Jaguar asserts this hidden network doesn't just shape public behavior, it shapes identity. Decisions once free moves, collaborations, personal choices, are now filtered through systemic control, infecting associates, collaborators, and even fans, subtly reshaping culture without anyone noticing. Some insiders describe constant paranoia, self-surveillance where every word, post, and gesture is measured against the network's expectations. Drake reportedly canceled multiple collaborations, not over creative disagreements, but due to unseen pressures. Chris Brown subtly altered his public persona to avoid conflicts with network rules. Offset faced intense scrutiny over private choices, guided not by morality or public opinion, but by the invisible hand Jaguar exposes. Stefon Diggs, overwhelmed by conflicting expectations, withdrew from public life, while Kanye West's notorious unpredictability may have been nudged to reinforce a narrative of chaos, diverting attention from the deeper machinations. Even more shocking, legal maneuvers allegedly reinforce the network's power. Non-disclosure agreements, internal contracts, and private legal advisories aren't just formalities. They're psychological tools, controlling behavior through fear of exposure, public ridicule, or career damage. Artists reportedly adjust friendships, creativity, and conduct to avoid confrontation or scrutiny. While the public sees curated images of freedom, luxury, and autonomy, the reality is a high-pressure system where deviation can trigger immediate repercussions: career setbacks, lost deals, or social isolation. Ironically, the celebrities celebrated for independence and rebellion are often the most tightly controlled. Public struggles, emotional moments, and unexpected career shifts? Carefully choreographed illusions, designed to protect the network and its unseen architects. Fans cheer, media speculates, and Hollywood applauds creativity, while invisible strings continue to guide, restrict, and infect. Jaguar warns the network's influence extends beyond individuals, affecting projects, collaborations, and cultural trends. Though mostly invisible to the public, the potential for exposure is enormous. Documents, insider testimonies, and private communications could reveal the system's full reach. Names like Offset, Drake, Chris Brown, Stefon Diggs, Kanye West are just the tip of the iceberg. The network, Jaguar says, penetrates decisions, perceptions, and careers in ways fans, journalists, or casual observers can't comprehend. Every cancelled collaboration, delayed release, and public apology may not be personal drama. It's a symptom of a silent infection coursing through Hollywood's elite. As we leave this chapter, the hidden web of influence, control, and psychological manipulation continues behind closed doors, dictating careers, friendships, and creativity. The public sees hits, viral moments, and performances, but the orchestration, Jaguar Wright insists, is far darker, calculated, and widespread. The questions now aren't who's affected, they're how deep this network runs, how many lives it touches, and whether anyone can escape its invisible infection. The deeper Jaguar Wright digs, the more unsettling it becomes. This system isn't subtle manipulation. It's power, control, and consequences rippling through Hollywood like an invisible tsunami. By the time Offset, Drake, Chris Brown, Stefon Diggs, Kanye West realize the scope, they're already entwined in a web almost impossible to escape. Sources describe private meetings where lawyers, executives, and PR specialists laid out rules in painstaking detail: obey, comply, maintain appearances, or risk losing projects, reputations, collaborations, and decades of career building. Jaguar warns the network thrives on psychological leverage. Anxiety, doubt, and pressure matter as much as money and contracts in keeping it intact. The chaos might look like ordinary celebrity drama. A cancelled album here, a cryptic social media post there, a sudden collaboration withdrawal fans can't explain. Moves appear spontaneous, erratic, or emotional. But Jaguar Wright's investigation reveals meticulous orchestration. Every headline, viral clip, and subtle media hint is carefully curated. Drake's delayed tour dates weren't simple conflicts. They were strategic pauses, building tension while the network recalibrated control. Chris Brown's public apologies, Offset's cryptic posts, Stefon Diggs' sudden social media silence, Kanye West's headline-grabbing antics, all allegedly serve the same goal: maintain the illusion of freedom while enforcing invisible rules. The consequences aren't just professional, they're deeply personal. Sources report emotional breakdowns, trust issues, and strained relationships, all stemming from the unseen pressures Jaguar exposes. Friends become strangers, collaborators cautious, and even the most confident artists second-guess every word, post, and move. The term infected isn't metaphorical, it describes a subtle, pervasive behavioral transformation. Once inside this orbit, choices, moods, and actions are filtered through layers of expectation they may not consciously recognize. Fans cheer success, but behind red carpets and flashing cameras, the toll is profound. Financially, the stakes are enormous. Endorsements, sponsorships, and streaming revenue all act as leverage. Compliance often brings lavish rewards, luxury vacations, exclusive parties, golden contracts. Refusal triggers immediate recalibration, stalled projects, withdrawn opportunities, subtly manipulated public perception. It's high stakes, where the prize isn't just money but influence over perception, narrative, and culture. Jaguar claims even lucrative contracts sometimes hinge not on talent, but willingness to follow the system's silent agreements. Meanwhile, the public remains blissfully unaware. Social media explodes with speculation, fans debate feuds, gossip columns conjecture, but the real story unfolds behind secrecy and strategic distraction. Every viral post, trending hashtag, and tabloid headline is part of a choreographed spectacle. Celebrity reputation management has become an art, legal strategy, media manipulation, and psychological pressure combined. Artists no longer fully control their public image. They perform in a high-stakes theater dictated by unseen forces. Cardi B's role is particularly fascinating. While many stars struggle, she reportedly navigates the network with savvy, charisma, and strategic foresight. Her persona remains untouchable, albums released on time, interviews flawless, viral social media moments engineered for impact. Yet insiders say she's entangled in the very system Jaguar exposes, balancing influence, power, and compliance while appearing carefree and unstoppable. Every success, public move, and social media storm serves a dual purpose: delight fans while managing the network's delicate equilibrium. Fallout is immediate and slow-burning. Some celebrities suffer subtle reputational damage, losing trust with collaborators, sidelined in projects, or quietly dropped from partnerships. Others face intense scrutiny from fans, media, and peers, all unaware of the deeper mechanics. Jaguar warns that for those closest to the center, the burden is heavier, stakes higher, missteps amplified, and interactions potentially weaponized to enforce compliance. Leaked communications reveal chilling coordination. Emails and texts allegedly instruct artists to adjust tone, avoid controversy, or maintain focus. PR teams monitor fan reactions, media coverage, even rumors, ensuring narratives stay intact. Subtle social media shifts are analyzed, minor statements scrutinized, every word and gesture measured. Personal autonomy becomes a luxury few can afford. For the public, the spectacle continues. Concerts, awards, appearances maintain an illusion of spontaneity. But Jaguar emphasizes nothing is accidental. Every smile, performance, and interaction is filtered, influenced, or engineered to fit network objectives. Even apparent mistakes, meltdowns, or controversies may be calculated, designed to distract, entertain, or reinforce compliance. Fans cheer, gossip, and speculate, oblivious to the orchestrated chaos. Emotional toll is immense. Stress, anxiety, isolation, strained relationships, and eroded trust are constants. Silent manipulation can cause long-term effects, mental health challenges, career stagnation. The network thrives on invisibility. The public sees spectacle, not eroded autonomy or emotional strain. Legal mechanisms, non-disclosure agreements, settlements, contractual clauses, reinforce control. Trivial statements or misinterpreted actions can trigger real consequences. Jaguar claims these tools aren't just protective, they're punitive, ensuring obedience without public awareness. The cultural impact is vast. Celebrity influence shapes trends, music, fashion, and public opinion. By controlling key figures, the network exerts subtle control over entire cultural currents. The ripple effect is immense. Decisions made behind closed doors eventually surface as chart-topping hits, viral fashion trends, and public buzz. Meanwhile, the hidden mechanisms remain invisible. Fans celebrate the output, adore the personalities, and stay blind to the silent forces shaping what they see, hear, and admire. By the time this scandal reaches its peak, Jaguar Wright insists the implications are staggering. Names once hailed for independence, creativity, and authenticity are exposed as participants in a system manipulating not just behavior, but perception, reputation, and emotional states. The ripple effects are systemic, touching collaborators, associates, and fans alike. Hollywood, often seen as a playground of luxury and excess, is, according to Jaguar, a meticulously engineered stage where freedom is an illusion, influence is invisible, and the cost is human. As this chapter closes, one thing is clear: albums, hits, red carpet moments, and viral tweets are merely the tip of a massive hidden iceberg. The real story lies in the network, the invisible architecture of control, and the silent infection spreading from one high-profile figure to another, reshaping decisions, behavior, and influence. The system thrives on invisibility, and the more powerful the celebrity, the subtler the manipulation. Jaguar warns that exposure could be catastrophic, unveiling secrets Hollywood has buried for decades. Yet the spectacle continues. Cardi B still drops chart toppers. Drake dominates streams and awards. Chris Brown headlines. Offset maintains public appearances. Kanye West mesmerizes the masses. Fans cheer, critics speculate, media churns endless tales of drama, rivalry, and romance. But Jaguar reveals the truth is far more calculated, manipulative, and darker than any headline could show. The question lingers: how long can this silent infection persist before the hidden network unravels? And when the truth emerges, what will the fallout be? What does this mean for Hollywood, the celebrities we idolize, and the fans who track their every move? Jaguar Wright has lifted the veil, exposing a reality far scarier than cheating rumors, leaked DMs, or petty Twitter feuds. This is a system of influence, control, and silent manipulation shaping careers, emotions, and public perception, often without anyone realizing it. The question isn't whether Cardi B, Drake, Offset, Chris Brown, Stefon Diggs, or Kanye West are affected. It's how deep this network goes, and how many more names are quietly entangled in its web. Could this scandal redefine everything we thought we knew about fame and power? Are the stories we see mere performances, while the real drama unfolds behind closed doors? When the truth finally surfaces, how many lives, reputations, and careers will be permanently altered? If you want to stay updated on every shocking revelation, hidden detail, and celebrity twist the mainstream media won't report, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more explosive investigative content. In Hollywood, the truth is rarely what it seems. And we're here to expose it all. Expose it all. What if I told you Hollywood's so-called VIP lifestyle, champagne showers, flashing smiles, and red carpets, isn't nearly as glamorous as it looks? Behind the velvet ropes, something far more sinister is quietly spreading. And yes, it all circles back to Cardi B. The queen of headlines is allegedly the epicenter of a shocking domino effect, and Jaguar Wright isn't holding back. She's dropping names, hinting at secrets, and exposing a hidden network tabloids, lawyers, and PR machines have desperately tried to bury. Offset, Drake, Chris Brown, Stefon Diggs, Kanye West, the list goes on. But forget cheating rumors or petty Twitter beefs. This is a high-stakes web of influence, control, and chaos infecting the very stars we worship. This network shields power, silences questions, and keeps fans clueless about the emotional and professional wreckage unfolding behind closed doors. So what really happens when fame meets a secret epidemic? Who's pulling the strings? And why is Hollywood letting it slide while the public stays blissfully unaware? Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into a scandal the industry prays you never see. It all began with whispers in exclusive club corners, gilded penthouses, and private jet lounges where the rich and famous don't just sip champagne. They trade secrets, favors, and according to Jaguar Wright, something far more contagious. For years, Hollywood has sold the illusion of untouchable glamour, with perfectly staged Instagram feeds and red carpets screaming perfection. But behind the glitz, chaos is spreading faster than anyone imagined. Cardi B, queen of headlines, awards, and social media storms, has allegedly become the unintentional spark for a scandal rattling some of entertainment's biggest names. Jaguar Wright, never shy with words, drops the bomb. Offset, Drake, Chris Brown, Stefon Diggs, even Kanye West, all somehow infected by this invisible force. Not about romance or petty drama, but influence, control, and subtle power corruption. The irony? These are the stars we glorify, obsessively stream, and watch dominate tabloids and reality TV. Yet, according to Jaguar, they are pawns in a system that isolates, manipulates, and pressures them in ways the public has never seen. Offset, long painted as Cardi B's unshakable partner, was reportedly one of the first to feel the tension, the invisible strings tugging at decisions, relationships, and careers. Drake, usually calm and chart-topping, allegedly felt tremors of the shadow network during his latest releases. Contracts delayed, collaborators shuffled, quiet legal nudges, nearly invisible maneuvers preserving public perception while chaos brewed behind the curtain. Chris Brown, already a headline magnet, reportedly faced loyalty tests and autonomy challenges that never hit TMZ. Stefon Diggs showed sudden withdrawals, cryptic posts, and mysterious project delays that fueled fan speculation without revealing the cause. Kanye West, master of spectacle, allegedly felt the same invisible hand shaping public reactions and personal choices, blurring lines between freedom and manipulation. According to